Oncology.TV here at ASCO 2015. Thomas Baldrick with Dr. Ian Flinn. Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure.
What's it like when you have all these abstracts at an ASCO? I mean, you've got to be a busy guy.
Well, it's a lot of fun, and it's very gratifying because it's evidence that some of the work we've been doing is finally making it and helping people, and so I think that's the most exciting part about it.
And obviously, you can't do this alone.
Oh no, we have a big team of people, and to make it all happen, both at our own institution and collaborators around the country.
So we whittled down of all your abstracts. Let's talk about this interesting phase 1 study you have, clinical activity and safety profile of TGR-1202. Could you just give a background on what that is?
Sure. I mean, TG-1202 is a PI3 kinase delta specific inhibitor. You know, there's 4 different types of PI3 kinase: the alpha, beta, delta, and gamma. The delta inhibitors are particularly interested in lymphomas and CLL because the isoform is restricted to cells of hematopoietic origin. And so by targeting that isoform, the promise there is perhaps having less off-target toxicity than you might see with the pan inhibitors, which are more commonly used in the solid tumors. And so that's really what this molecule is all about, is targeting just the delta isoform.
So what methods are you using with the study?
Yeah, this is a phase 1 study. And so we've been dose escalating up into higher and higher doses. One of the concerns is that, of course, is toxicity. And what we think is really interesting about this drug is that it doesn't seem to have the liver function abnormalities that we saw when we first developed idelalisib. And so I hope that holds out, because that's going to be a lot easier for patients to take this molecule, to take this drug for a long time, if they don't have some of the side effects that we're seeing with the first generation molecules.
So obviously you're still early on the road here, but what else have you discovered?
We've seen activity. We've seen that in patients with chronic lymphocytic leukemia, more than 3/4 of patients are having nodal responses, and that's really good. At the same time, having a very few side effects, that's perfect. And in patients with low-grade lymphoma, we're also seeing responses there as well. And as you mentioned, it's early on. Now our plan is to start increasing the number of patients in the different disease subtypes so we can get a better idea of the efficacy in these different subtypes.
What do you think the potential implications are?
I think the implications could be huge in the sense that if one of the problems that we've learned, we've now been dealing with some of these B-cell receptor molecules for 6-7 years. And one of the things that comes up is, while they're high in efficacy and they revolutionized our care of patients with CLL and lymphoma, one of the issues is that patients start developing side effects and they have to come off the molecule. They have to come off the drug. Maybe not so much because of the lack of efficacy, but because of tolerability, not necessarily in the short run, but in the long run. And so if we're going to change these into chronic diseases in the way we still think about, say, hypertension or diabetes, if we're going to change these malignancies into that, people have to be able to take the medication for a long time. And our hope and the hypothesis here is that this medication will allow that to happen.
Well, we certainly hope it does, and we wish you the best in finding it out.
Thank you.
Thank you.